Hi, Hari. How are you?
Good, good. Where are you based out of?
Bangalore. How about
Perfect. Perfect.
yeah? And you?
Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay. So your startup, okay? I'll anyway get to know once you start talking about it.
I know. But yeah, we're trying to do a SaaS for commercial real estate and co-working spaces in.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a like a good space to be in.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, now look at you guys looking so smart, and then look at me. Now I'm feeling a little awkward.
Yeah, go out, go inside, put in a tie and come.
It's a Sunday look, so that's fine.
No, not ready yet. It's just, but thank you so much, Hari and Iram, for joining me. You guys are very kind, and
Anytime, sir.
of course, awesome.
Yeah.
So Iram,
Thanks
just
for
to
having.
let you, not a problem. So just to let you know, Iram, so Hari and me know each other pretty well for the last few years. We are
Okay.
part of this volunteer-driven organization called Head Start
Okay.
Network Foundation. Yeah, so that's how we know each other. And of course, you were also recommended to me by Subodh Patil, the gentleman from the IMB thing, who guys do a lot of work together.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's also a close friend and dear guy and wonderful person. So that's how the ecosystems comes together. Okay, great. So we have 6:30 sharp. So we are ready for this. Thank you to everyone who is joining in. So good evening. This is Vijetha here. I'm part of the Thai Bangalore team. But here it's all about the community and the ecosystem. Startup Sunday, the informal boardroom, where we bring together some of the finest and sharpest innovators and startup minds to help each other, to support each other. And today it's a delight and pleasure for me to have Iram and Hari, and Jagat will be joining us later. And now keep starting. It's all about content. It's all about focused to help each other out. So without delay, Iram, I would love you to introduce yourself and talk about what you're up to in life. Let's start with you. Hi, Jagat.
Yeah. Yeah, hi Jagat, and hello everyone. I am a founder of a startup called eWaste Social. We are an online auction place and a marketplace for connecting corporates who generate e-waste to the recyclers who can recycle it. So basically, we are trying to create a holistic environment for recycling of e-waste without any middlemen or any hazard to the environment, and thereby creating an impactful workplace wherein all the e-waste what we work with is recycled or refurbished in the most appropriate way. So this startup was founded last year, and yeah, so
Awesome.
that's yeah, and Vijetha, the journey I've been through, like
Yes,
with
of
Thai
course.
as well.
Yes, Iram, we know that, and we are here to support and guide you to do even better in life. Okay, because you are doing wonderful stuff. It's amazing work that you do. Thank you so much, Iram.
Thank you.
Okay, and we will come to your slide as well later, but we'll have the verbal introduction. So, Hari, if you don't mind, you may go next, please.
Sure, Vijata. Thank you for having me over. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jagat. My name is Hari, and I'm a struggling bootstrap entrepreneur trying to focus on building a SaaS platform for commercial real estate, co-working spaces, and office spaces. So what we are trying to solve is the real estates predominantly have a lot of technologies coming in, which are very, very independent. You can call them IoT integrations or any kind of integrations. So what we are trying to do is for the commercial real estate to bring everything together onto one platform, and then we focus on giving them personalized analytics. That's what we do.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Jagat, go for it, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining in, and thanks Vijetha. So I'm Jagat. I run this platform called Vidphone. So Vidphone is a video communications platform to have productive remote teams, and also for customer experience, superior customer experiences, all centered around video. So would love to explain a lot more about what we do, but welcome to Iram and Hari, and let's
Thank you.
conversation.
Yeah, and thank you, Jagat, for being kind enough to give your platform. He's also a startup hustling. He's raised a
Also,
little bit of money. Yes,
struggling bootstrapper, as you would say. I think that's good.
yeah. So so great. So now what I would like to do is, Iram, maybe we'll start with you first. You have your
Oh,
slide ready. One is,
yeah.
please remember that you're on Facebook, YouTube, and Vidphone. We are going to be splashing, and Jagat and his team will be sharing all this out to a larger and wider community. And you all also must do it. So take the platform to showcase your slides where you talk about yourself, number one, and number two is talk about the two challenges. and then cut the two challenges part only and put it on the chat window. And then we'll move to Hari, then we'll move to Jagat, and then we start discussing about the next steps. All right. So that will be the format. Go for it.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Jagat, we lost you. Yeah.
Maybe Iram can go first. Maybe I mean I think
Iram goes first. Yeah, she's starting.
Yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, Iram.
Yeah, so we are a B2B technology platform providing a solution for e-waste and responsible e-waste management, creating an ecosystem where we connect the corporates who generate e-waste to the recyclers and the refurbishers who can recycle it. So we have a very simple process, a 3-step solution wherein the corporate can create an auction event, accept bid, and close the deal, and the recycler can bid for the parcel, and these parcels are available in smaller smaller value or smaller denomination. Usually the e-waste parcel which the government auctions are much huger, much bigger size. So these are mid size, which are affordable by the recyclers, and they can bid online and close the deal. So we are trying to provide a transparent auction platform wherein we can measure the impact on the environment by the number of by the tons of e-waste collected to the number of carbon emissions avoided on this planet Earth. So, and I think all the companies need to get start thinking about it, because usually it is we all the biggest challenge what we are facing currently is B2B marketing, creating awareness about our platform and the impact the corporate would be able to create by onboarding our platform. I'll just give you a small example. It's always a priority as to what equipment we need to buy, but we never think that how are we going to dispose it. So this mindset needs to be changed, and that's a big task for a startup like us. And we are also bootstrapped. So we are under we need to focus on various media which we need to use for marketing, and the dilemma is there which one to prioritize over, whether to go for the paid, earned, or owned media. Limited resources is also something what we struggle with, and getting the right talent and retaining it. So these are a key problem and the challenges what we face on a regular basis. And I feel like entrepreneurship journey is definitely something it's an exciting journey, and we all need to it's a struggle every day, but definitely a worthy struggle. So yeah, so that's about my startup, like a short and a brief note, and the challenges faced. I'll just paste the challenges on the chat window.
Yeah, please do that, Iram. And also, of course, you are also most welcome to paste your LinkedIn profile and your contact details on the chat window as well, because we want that people get in touch with you. And also remember, Hari and Jagat and Iram, after we finish everything, but before we close the session, one last time, also I would like your contact details to be shared on screen. That is before we close. Okay? Because publicity, PR, digital marketing is important. So you guys should take advantage of this platform to do that. Okay, Hari, over to you, sir. Now,
thank you, sir. Thanks, Iram. It was, I hear your pain. And when you say that, it's been a struggle, I definitely hear what you're saying. Yeah, every day is a challenge, but, end of the day, you get up in the morning saying that, I'm making an impact back to the society. So that's one thing which keeps me moving. So HAPLO, the idea came about 2 years ago. We started as a SaaS platform for co-working spaces. After little iterations, we moved over to commercial real estate. So what we do is 3 components. One is platform as a service, one is data as a service, and one is analytics as a service. So predominantly what happens is in commercial real estate or office spaces or co-working spaces, predominantly what happens is they try to use a lot of technologies to ensure they are providing value to the consumer. But the struggle comes when you want to consolidate everything together. And we found that as a big problem area. We did some research, or rather, I spent about 6 months before putting up all my PF gratuity, whatever, which I made in the last 10 to 12 years into the startup. What we have realized is real estate technology penetration is less than 20%, not only in India, but across the globe. In India, it's less than 5%. Now, why is it less than 5%? Because many of the commercial real estates, the technologies they want to use are very, very expensive. That's the first thing which comes into picture. Only a handful, I can name them also, but that's not the context here, have their own in-house technology teams who do what they want to do. But they also get saturated over a period of time, because managing a technology team in a real estate organization becomes complicated, and they can't take scale it further. And unfortunately, they can't sell their solution to others, because if you are my competitor, I don't want to be using your platform for my work, because I don't want you to know my information, my occupancy, and all that stuff. The third part to it, which comes, is the pricing for technology for real estate, which predominantly is, I know I'm using the word predominantly a lot because I want to stress on that word, which goes in per square foot model, or per member model, or per employee model, whatever. So we want to get rid of everything. And we said, why don't we do a SaaS? And we do two kind of SaaSes. One is a complete white labeled offering. The client who is with us right now needed a complete white label. So you don't see our name anywhere. We do the managed technology for them, and we give the whole platform. So typically two things come out of when you subscribe with us. One is the white labeled mobile apps, and also a workspace super app. It can be anybody. It can be a commercial real estate. It can be a co-working. It can be an office space, whatever. So these are the front-ending tools. But behind what we do is we spend time with their teams to look at what technologies they use, and we bring them together to ensure the data gets merged onto a platform. We structure and store the data. We work with that particular real estate or the space or the office space to understand what kind of metrics they want to see, because everybody's requirement is different. Everybody's not looking only at occupancy, but there are a lot of other metrics which go in. And then we design the analytics for them and give it. And this all comes in a subscription model, which doesn't add a lot of cost to the real estate developer. So that's the solution what we're doing right now. And the current challenge what we have, I'll be very honest in a couple of aspects here. If you see the second point as a global go-to-market strategy, this is where we are struggling. Being a bootstrap, unable to spend a lot of money on digital marketing, we are not able to reach out to the global audience. And also real estate works in a very little different way. You have something called system integrators. My co-founder has been a system integrator, but she's now working on with me. Reaching out to the system integrators becomes very, very difficult because they work a little in silos. There is no centralized database or things like that. So this is where our challenge, one of the biggest challenge, comes in. And reaching out to potential clients, why I mentioned is that as a challenge is because at times we run out. We could reach a good number of clients, but reaching out to the tier 2, tier 3 kind of developers is very, very important, because they make about 80% of the market share. And last but not the least is finding an early stage investor who can look at this not day 2 of revenues and break evens or a sale, but looks at 2 to 5 years. And with COVID, our solution has become much more better. And I think one of the industries which gets benefited is real estate. I know you see a lot of news about real estate struggling and all that stuff, but trust me, the insider news is a lot different than what you see in the news and the media. So it becomes very important to plan the 2 to 5 year roadmap for these kind of spaces. And yes, there are struggles right now where people are not coming to office and things like that. But again, I don't know how many of you know, 50% of offices have started operating. Only the multinationals are still saying work from home. 50% are coming back to work. So these are the challenges what we face, but predominantly this is the solution what we are giving from a HAPLO perspective.
Perfect, boss. Thank you. Jagat, would you like to very crisply go ahead with your stuff? Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. I'll just share my screen. All right. So we are Vidphone. So we basically help startups and enterprises grow with what we call the video business model. So this basically is about two things. One is on the internal communications front, and the other on the external communications. Internal to do with your teams. Our goal is to basically end what we call, what world is calling video meeting fatigue, to make video communication a lot more efficient. So, in simple words, what we say is fewer, better meetings is our goal with Vidphone. Vmail is a product that we have in the Vidphone system, where people can send live video messages, asynchronous video messaging, much like how you send emails, where you don't require both people to be in the conversation at the same time, as opposed to with video conferencing, much like phone, where both have to be engaged at the same time, right? So we call it async video communications, and that's Vidphone. And we also help on the external communications. We give businesses a customer experience platform where their customers can engage completely in video, right from attracting the customers to converting them, and also retaining them for a longer period of time. So this is at a very high level what we do with Phone. We're a video communications company. And two main challenges. One, of course, we have, we compete with some very, very large companies. And one of the goals is how do you build really strong communities here in India. And a lot of the initiatives that we do along with Vijetha is also around the community building, League of Extraordinary Startups, or Startup Sunday, or even the Vidphone show, right? Everything's to do with how do we build strong founder and startup communities here in India. The second is also, what are certain India-specific features, like how Hari was sharing regarding the real estate space. I was, I had done some work for companies like Cushman Wakefield, and one of the main things is that we see how do we have a transformation, a digital transformation specific to India markets, right? Indian real estate is quite different compared to other countries. So these are the main issues. I would love thoughts on this from the community and the founders, community as well as product differentiation. Thanks.
Perfect. Great. Hey guys, thank you so much. So the other request, of course, put your challenges out there on the chat. So the reason is the audience can see it, and also it makes my life easier. Okay. And now very quickly, let's talk about this. So there's some questions and comments also that's coming in, guys. For example, Mayank is asking that were there any new challenges specifically because of the pandemic? There were opportunities also. I think, Hari, you and Jagat are saying that remote sales, people are using video much more. There are a lot of things are going on because of that. So any new challenges that you have faced apart from this because of the pandemic, or what else? Everything is okay, right? In terms of, it's an opportunity. I mean, you'll have to look at opportunity. So is there something that you want to comment on that very quickly, very crisply?
Vijetha, I'll take the question first because Jagat can add to me, and also Iram, it will resonate with you, because it's all about perception, right? Work from home, office spaces are not going to go. I can quote a lot of examples, but since this is a live feed and I'm a bootstrapped entrepreneur, I don't want to be building any enemies at this point of time. There was one large organization which went on a media rampant in terms of saying our workforce will go down from 100% and it will come down to 20% working from office by 2025. Let me tell you, the internal working is totally different. Nobody is going anywhere. Actually, they're ramping up the office spaces because they are large. They have the power to mount, bend the arms of the developers for a lesser, rental rates, right? I mean, I can talk about CBD. Before COVID, it was about 150 per square foot, and now companies are, really bargaining with the developers for 75 rupees, right?
So, Hari, I just say this, that it's part of the game.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying post-COVID, perception is the most important. So anybody who's listening here, you think that, there are a lot of things which are going to change post-COVID. Let me tell you, yes, definitely they're going to change. I'm not debating on that. But don't give up on your idea without knowing the internal functioning. So my example and my code. So when in March, April, friends wrote to me, Hari, it's time you wind your operation. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. By June, if you see, co-working spaces demand has actually gone up.
Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic, man. So, you know what, guys, we got lots of founders out here. We have Abrar, just a quick shout out. We have Abrar, who's part of the Karnataka startup cell, a very dear friend as well, someone I have a lot of respect for. They support us, they support TiE Bangalore. We do a lot of work together at Elevate and other things. So he's there. Then you have some founders. Vinayak is here, Mayank is here, Subodh is also here. Many wonderful people are there. So I want to get them also to talk about this. So now, Jagat, Iram, and Hari, you'll have seen the problems that each other are facing. Okay, and I want to keep this very, very crisp. I'm going to come in between if required. It's 6:50. First, give. Tell me who wants to talk about what Jagat has spoken about, right? His two challenges. Okay, the you know, whatever in terms of differentiation and you know, building the community. Very crisp. Okay, not more than 45 seconds to 1 minute each. So go for it. Whoever wants to go first. Talk about. I want Iram, Hari. You talk about Jagat. Then we reverse it. Okay, we go for each one's problem.
So I'll start with, and it's always easy to give other suggestion.
I know.
So yeah, so I think, like, you know, a platform like that is a great platform. Like, you know, it's the first time when I have used it. I think the outreach to the potential customer, like, you know, you can tie up with schools, universities, colleges, because all of them are using online, like, you know, for their online classes are using such platform. So a tie-up with such, like, you know, type of universities or even government organizations would help you to outreach many more people, and many more, like, you know, to the mass. And India has a big, huge population. So when we see, or like, you know, schools, like, then we have like a major population who are using such platform. So I think that can be one of it. And as far as branding is concerned, it's always I think like, you know, organic branding. That's what I have seen, like, you know, for my business, like, you know, though we again, we are bootstrapped and small, but however organic links, like, you know, they have helped us much more than like, you know, any other space. And connects, like, you know, your internal connects, branding through your alumni network, through your corporate network. I'm sure, like, you know, that would take you places. So that are my 2 cents for video phone. Yeah, Vidphone. Yeah.
Vidphone for video. Yeah, Vidphone. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, Vidphone.
Thanks. Iram. Hari, your turn next. Okay.
Jagat, I will have only one suggestion for you. And I have seen this problem up close. Okay. And having, I mean, for example, as Iram mentioned, or Vijetha mentioned, or Lalit is pinging out there, you should reach out to Paras. But if you're reaching out to education institutions, the ease at which I can log into my class, ask a question, log out. That's the only thing I think you should focus on. I know there are many communities, as you know, mentioned, government institutions, private institutions, whatever. But if you're going for any domain, which can be education, it can be government organization, the 1-2 key features which they do use every day, and making it easier for them, especially not draining out the mobile battery and the RAM, right? If you can focus on that, I think you need not look back again.
Interesting. So now we'll change the spotlight to, say, Iram. Okay. Now you know what her challenges are. She's been talking about the digital marketing, retaining talent. So what Jagat is studying it now. So, you know, so Hari, you go first. Maybe just talk about the challenges that Iram is shared with us, and let's see what we can talk to her about. Yeah.
Iram, one of the most important, I know there are different kinds of organizations. I don't know what kind of organizations you're trying to focus on, be it the multinationals, be it the private limiteds and things like that. I have worked for a MNC, right? Predominantly what happens is the decision making for these kind of things come from the headquarters. So if you are looking at targeting multinational corporations in terms for your e-waste, where your revenue will be high or your actual impact will be very high. For example, if Apple signs up with you, your impact is going to be much more different, rather than HAPLO tying up with you, right? So what I'm saying is, these guys, the decision makers and the people who look at those kind of things, sit outside India mostly. So if you're looking at multinationals, try to look at the headquarters and reach out to them rather than trying to reach out to the India folks. I'm not discarding them, but end of the day, the decision comes from there, and a word from there makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, okay. That's very helpful. Like probably I can go that route.
Sure. And one more point I want to add. Either be it TIE or it be it Head Start or Coffee Roundtable, whatever organization, these organizations have a lot of tie-ups with. I can talk from Head Start's background. I don't know if anybody is there from Head Start today. We have a lot of tie-ups with a lot of institutions and organizations for supporting grassroots level entrepreneurship. Right? Having your name there with them for your e-waste makes a lot of difference again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So that's what I think Vijetha, I have already spoken to him. So very much with you. Thanks so much.
Anytime.
So okay, now can we shift the? Sorry, Jagat, you're going next.
So, no, I think you're in a wonderful space, because I think it's increasingly these things become no more of a kind of nice to have on a CSR sheet, right? These become existential stuff, like what we're seeing with Corona, right? Like people can have 3 and 5 year plans, but I just heard today afternoon that somebody in my family expired, and we didn't expect them to expire. So life becomes so existential, and I think what you have is something that's and because I think you're just getting started, much like all of us, we're all bootstrapped and the beginning phases. I think the most important thing is, more than e-waste social, I think people would connect with Iram, right? I think you and this is my message to all founders today. With the video first world we live in, I call it #face business, right? It's all about face. So it's really about people connecting with Iram, and I think with Hari and with Jagat, more than our brands. I think the brands happen later. That when you become a bigger, institution building. But I think one of the things is to look at that. And of course, we have webinars. I don't want to sound too salesy, but one of the things is to start doing, I think, simple live sessions and webinars about you talking about your message, because I think that's the best thing today that resonates with people, right? More than any recorded videos or having creative images on social media and all this stuff. I think what really has impact is the founder getting out there in 30 seconds or 50 seconds for a start, where you have a initial video to, and the purpose of that video is not to give a message as such. It is to invite people into your webinar, which we will do weekly. And so then you build organically your tribe, and then slowly the word spreads, right? And I'm sure even corporate circles, you might be targeting CSR departments and certain people in the organizations. They are talking, and they have their own networks and LinkedIn groups they're part of. So I think that way would be really good, right? If you put yourself out there, and that's really the way that you can, I think, do it. The second, I think, was to do with sales. Was it? I mean, remote onboarding, digital media. Yeah, so prioritize one over the other. I think it's video first again. Like I think I was saying that even in the Thai Global Summit, before 2010, it was about phone and email. 2010 to 2020, it was about social, which is images mainly, and then video started coming. And 2020 onward, it's all about video. So no matter which platform you're doing, whether you're doing an email or you're doing Facebook post or Instagram, it's all about video, right? So I think video is going to be the most important, because that's like most impactful. And getting the right talent and retaining it, well, that's $1 million question for startups, and especially bootstrap startups. I think the main thing is to have a small core team that believes completely in your vision as much as you do, and to have them vested in your growth, have their own growth linked to your growth, and make them have like exponential outcomes, right? And that'll only happen when you're generous with stock, generous with increments, and performance-based increments. So that way they become it's their business as well, and I think that way you build a lot. This is my sense.
Okay, awesome. So Jagat,
Thank you.
Amazing inputs here. So what I'm hearing here is that if you make your vendors also part of your journey, because when you're bootstrapped, you can't afford to pay an agency big money, right, Iram? So think about that. You'll have to find some hustlers who you can incentivize in different ways. That's a beautiful input. And see what Jagat is also trying to do. You guys are part of this Founders Feed WhatsApp group. We have done League of Extraordinary Startups. At TIE, we keep trying to do many things. It's not enough. It's not even 1% of what the community needs, guys. So I think what matters here is, and I think Hari, Head Start, Paras, dear friend of mine, community folks, we have done so much of work together.
I know.
And like NSR cell is there, TI is there, NASCOM is there. So we all have to come together and create these innovation clusters. That's what important. Okay.
True.
Perfect. Now, can we switch the spotlight on to Hari's two challenges and Jagat and Iram, whoever wants to go first?
I think Iram can go first. I'll go second.
Yeah. Please.
Okay, so I'll just go, look back at the challenges.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, the global outreach, what you were looking for, for your SaaS-based platform. Again, connecting at the right time, at the right place with the right people. That's important. I think, a space like this, because I was working with someone, in fact, I was mentoring at one point someone who was working in a similar space of real estate, and real estate is a very tricky spot, because there are a lot of mediators, just like my business, where there are a lot of mediators.
Correct.
So more than the people, we are dealing with the mediators who don't want us to move ahead, and they don't want any sort of digitalization or anything of that sort. So I feel in case if you can give some incentives for these mediators or some benefits to partner with you, that would help you to take your business to another level, because they always even they are threat to each other. So one broker will never be a friend of another broker. So similarly, see you as a friend or as a partner, they would probably your business would in fact be benefiting them and in the overall ecosystem in which you are there.
Correct.
So I think that is my suggestion.
Thank you, Ram. So just to answer your point, so when we work with system integrators, we give a 10% cut of the annual revenue they bring to us. So it's a very straight deal for them. So they need not be threatened, and we tell them, you also look at these reports for your clients, which will help you deliver better.
Yeah. So I think if all industries, in whichever we are going to get digitalized over the period of over a few years time, but it's just that we are a little early, so we need to struggle a little more and make a niche in this industry.
True. I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah. So I think resilience is also one big thing. So just keep going. Just stay on the track, let be corona or no corona. Office spaces, people need spaces to go out and work. So office spaces are going to be the thing. Video chats are going to be the thing, and e-waste is a big issue that we are trying to solve. So
true.
Yeah. So
sure, Hari. I was just checking out your website as well. HAPLO. Really interesting business, I must say. I think. Such businesses really, I feel like the time is yet to come in India. Look at when you look at YC and other platforms, prop tech is already big. There are huge unicorns built in the Valley and US around property. And India, apart from you had a big boom and bust of housing, a little bit of common floor, maybe the magic bricks, and the whole real estate space. That's pretty much what I've seen. Right, is has even made any kind of news. So I think, of course, no broker, different varieties of prop tech. One of the important things is, Hari, I think really I would like to see founders like you, I would like to see your webinars a lot more often. It's really what I think in India, people have to, that education phase is still there. We're still at customer phase.
Yes.
But it's more about which, e-waste management do I go to, or which prop tech do I go to. Today, the fact is whether I need e-waste or whether I need PropTech at a very fundamental level.
True.
But unless, I think you guys, people like you and Iram, and you should come out, do webinars, every week, because I think that's going to be very organic, right? You guys have a lot to share, and you have polished business models as well. So I think that's the only. If there's a challenge in reaching out, I think it's because we have not heard about you, and it could probably be done a lot better. I mean, this applies to me as well, right? And we are proactively doing this, Vijetha and myself, with various other initiatives as well. But everyone should, I think, take that, because it democratizes the platform quite a lot today. It doesn't matter how big the prop tech company is. their real estate infra does not matter compared to a bootstrap company. So I think that's very important. Investors, I think you will start finding. I think once you start finding those deals happening online, and you have that scalability, definitely I think people should start looking at real estate, because a lot of people are saying 2021 is already going to be about real estate, right? Like it's going to be, because it's taken apparently it's taken the biggest hit. But I think if something's come down that fast, it will also go up that fast. I think that's how it's going to be. So,
since we are bootstrapped, Jagat, 2 years burning your own money. I'm a son of a teacher, right? I'm not I'm not related to Mukesh Ambani or Adani Bhai or anybody. So I'm a son of a teacher. So whatever went in, I sold my house, spent my PF gratuity, everything on this. So we are just looking for some early stage investors who can just believe in us a little bit. But otherwise, I'm a strong proponent of not doing a VC round. Right, be bootstrapped or do a small family friends round and come together and just keep churning and grow that way. You will become much bigger. But when you bring the investors, big end investors, it becomes it becomes really complicated aspect. But yes, thank you. I mean, you mentioned about webinars, but I'm now more looking at I'm looking at doing my own podcast, specifically focused on PropTech and entrepreneurship. I also teach entrepreneurship in 2 institutes. So specifically focused on that. Yeah, it's been pending for the last 2 months, but yes, I will get that out so that, whoever wants to listen can listen. And whenever get opportunities like how Vijetha is giving today, to share more about our experiences.
Sure. I think it'll be wonderful to see.
Fantastic.
Video also, right? Podcast is one thing, but I think definitely video has a really good effect as well. So
I know. Yeah, true.
Because sharing of graphics, sharing of content on video, and that really helps. And then see also, Hari, because there are other channels. Okay, of course, Vidphone is there, but you have YouTube and this and that. You can push a lot of content out. And one thing is that if you guys both Iram and Hari and Jagat, of course, if you guys want to publish any blog on TiE Bangalore's blog page, I can do that. But it has to be non-salesy and focus only on knowledge. Okay. The content has to be very strictly around knowledge. It can't be of course, your signature will be there with who you are, what you are. But we can, I can help you guys with that as well. No charge.
That would be wonderful, Vijetha.
Yeah, it's part of the community. Great. So one of the things that I request each one of you to do is, you all have given the gyan. Those 2 bullet points, just write, like, say, Iram, you write for Hari, and you write the your 2 inputs on the chat. And in Jagat, you have to do the same, and vice versa. Okay. So I'm just bringing a few perspectives that is coming in from the audience and other things as well. Like this, see, everyone is saying that, and I think, Jagat, you unfortunately have hit the nail on the head, that we are not able to get you guys out there enough, right? For whatever reason. Like, okay, for example, Iram, what have you been doing to get your story out there? I want you to just, and 30 seconds you have, 3 or 4 bullet points. What have you been doing on your own in the last few months to get your story out?
So we did a tie-up with Fiki Flow Bangalore, and we did a mural made out of e-waste, which is put at Bangalore International Airport, and that was like a huge publicity for us, like internally, because Fiki has a lot of corporates attached to them, and they all got a flyer alongside the Bangalore International Airport that e-waste social had done a mural made out of e-waste for creating awareness that the growth at which the problem which it is growing at such a humongous rate needs to be addressed. So that was one of the things what we did in the past 6 months. Alongside, we did few webinars with Click. It's a Karnataka association for consortium of electronic equipment, and we did with Click a webinar wherein we addressed their members as to the issues related to e-waste, and how through our platform they can come and transact very in a very open, transparent platform, and dispose of their e-waste or refurbish it and get the best price. For the recyclers, we did a small seminar wherein we gave them assurance that we are their partners and we will take care of their interest when they associate with us. So we have good handful of recyclers who are on our mailing list and on our phone and have registered on our platform. and they have understood our concept, and they are okay, like they have slowly like getting used to, like that private auction coming into place where e-waste will be recycled. And apart from that, yeah, so these are few of the things, like we did couple of webinars, and yeah, the mural was like a big thing. We also showcased our startup at Fiki, showcase like the online platform, wherein we have gotten taken a startup booth to showcase about our like about our venture. And again, like we've connected to a couple of people online, like there are companies who are there, so we can have B2B meetings and connect to them. And internally, like various groups and like our network, alumni network, and all of it, we are trying to monetize on that, like by connecting with them. So there is no monetization as such, but then there is a traction, like we see people understanding the concept. And yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Iram. Hari, would you like to talk about your journey last couple of years only? Like, what have you been doing differently, you feel, or what you should be doing maybe better over the next few months to get yourself under the awareness of more of the customers' potential and also early stage investors?
Perfect. So, to be very honest with you, at least last 3 months has been entrepreneurial depression. I'm sure many would have heard the word, but we don't talk it out loud. So I went through a lot of loan time. So I don't have a team. So when I say I don't have a team, we are not physically together. My development team is a friend's company which is based out of Vietnam. My co-founder is based in Delhi. So it's end of the day on the video or a phone call, and that and added to work from home and everything brought down, and my favorite beer not being available, everything added to my depression, right? We didn't do anything much in the last 3-4 months, but now we are focusing on building the content from a business case study standpoint, to start sharing on forums and start looking at reaching out to the developers and saying, you know what, pick up a problem, this is how we are solving it and how we are getting it done. We have not done much in the last 3 to 6 months since the COVID. We have not done much, but we have been reaching out to developers directly and talking to them, and presenting how we can change the landscape for them and things like that. But 2021, the two predominant aspects. One is we want to get the value proposition out, and as Jagat and Iram mentioned when we started, it's all about the entrepreneur today. It's not about the idea, it's not about anything, it's your story and how that story is how you're communicating the story, right? One tip for getting out of depression when you don't have people around, and when you don't have your favorite beer around, is I listen to how I build this very, very holistically every week. And last 6 months they've done amazing work in terms of, I don't want to market guy here, but the stories, when you hear how they've come, it gave me a lot of motivation to get the each week done. So the next 6 months is going to focus on getting the content out and looking at how we can add value to the end user rather than being stuck in a site.
Perfect. Hey, thanks so much, Hari. That's very clearly and crisply put. Now, just to get some, we are talking about talent also, right? How to get interns, volunteers, hire people. So, for example, Jagat has like him and Akhil, right? Jagat, there's two of you folks. Hari, you have your development team sitting in Vietnam. And Iram, how big is your team? Do you have people, or how big are you? Small are you? What's your team size now?
So our development team is outsourced. So my co-founder is the technical, he looks into the technical side. So we've like outsourced the development team, but we have a very good rapport with the development team, so we are able to get the work done. And the first cut seems to be good and running. And hopefully, once we have some more traction and funding, we would get an in-house team. And we have like a lot of so in this time when we were developing the product, we have marked the stages, how we want to go through the business. So we have first, second, third. So, and we have a lot of things lined up, for our platform to become more holistic and approachable to all and inclusive to everyone. So we have started with e-waste, but it's going to give a holistic approach to even the impact what it is creating, the energy audits, what every company is going to be creating by transacting on our platform. So we are going to give a complete know-how to the company whoever onboards with us.
Okay, perfect, great. So I'm going to come back to Iram, and you prepare yourself, because I want, you mentioned about FICCI and all these places. How did you get there? What have you done? I wanted to kind of give these insights to the founders. All right, it's not just I went here, I went there. How did you do it? How did you prepare? I mean, that's more important. Okay, just to
Yeah.
give all this context. So, for example, Jagat, you went to the Thai Global Summit. You were, you had taken up a booth at IoT Matrix. You also do a lot of, outreach for yourself. You send out emailers. You create a lot of properties, etc. Right? So can you give some insights to founders that bootstrapped? Yes, great. You have time on your hand and you must do marketing very frugally. How do you do it? Okay,
Well,
talk
we don't
about
have much
yeah.
time on our hands, to be honest. And like you and I think Akhil and I, of course, we are expanding the team now. We are growing fast. One thing is that I've always believed in keeping the team lean, especially the past 6 months in video conferencing has been very shaky, because we have had all the big players come in and provide free product. Basically, companies like us, which go in with a business model 1 year ago, saying that let's say 500 rupees per month per user, which is which is affordable globally. Now suddenly you have all the large companies who put it at 0 rupees. So you have to navigate your business model very fast. So for us, we didn't, though we raised money, we didn't go aggressively and hire people, because we had to navigate quickly. And when you have to navigate fast, it's important to have people who are kind of who understand how the company works, than having new people who come in. So, but that being said, now I think with Vmail and with our external customer acquisition, product line, I think obviously there's a lot more for sales and marketing and product development to do. Right? Uh, we do we do what we have to do to kind of stay reasonably in the news. Of course, your story covered us, and we're part of NASSCOM 10,000 Startups, so we get some assistance from NASSCOM. I'm also part of TIE, so Vijetha, we always do a lot of very interesting stuff. I think it's important to engage with your audience, and what we do is we try and be very authentic, and that's the only thing we do. We're not a large company that can spend a lot on polished creative material or production. What we can only do is, as a small team, is to be very authentic in what we do, and to be very transparent. I think that's the message that we'd like to convey also. It's not about producing 5 very well polished out videos. It's more about, on an everyday basis or every 2 days, can we provide some authentic content to our audience and give them some value, right? So these properties that we have, along with Vijetha, we've created these LXS, Founders Feed, whether it's Startup Sunday, whether it's the Vidphone show. All of these have a goal more than selling our product. It's not about selling the product. It's about helping our community do things in different ways. It could be like in this case where serendipitously you're meeting other people and you get some help, or LXS where someone's being profiled, or Vidphone show where we're talking about futuristic business models and how
to be an Amazon Prime member to be able to play Sweat. Funk mix from Amazon
So I would like
Music.
to also give this
Would you
perspective
like to learn
Airbnb.
more?
Who wants to talk about Airbnb? How they have grown so much, right? They focus on community. They got in people whom they've never met to be their icons or their growth marketing force. So that's something we have to think of, right? So what can property tech do? So for example, Iram, you're doing such wonderful work. It's such an important thing that you're doing, right? E-waste is such a horrible thing that we're polluting the planet. But you're doing something that will actually help other people who are getting rid of their e-waste through a platform like yours. So maybe we need ambassadors. We really need ambassadors to propagate the social impact. And again, I don't have the answers, but these are some of the conversation pieces that are going around. Iram, I'm putting the spotlight back onto you. Okay, I want you to talk about how you got into this FICCI thing and how are you using your Alum network, etc.
So I was always part of the FICCI network, the Flow network. I had done a lot of campaigns for them for collection of e-waste when I was not even doing e-waste, and I was part of their CSR, CSR section as well. But then when I founded this organization, and then we did like one collection drive with the Flow ladies. the Bangalore Flow Ladies. And that's when I had this idea of whatever we have collected. It was worth only so what we were able to collect was some 2 or 3 kilos of e-waste from some 150 women. So so what we thought was, so I thought instead of giving them the 3 kilos of money's worth, that will be less than 300 or 400 rupees. I would might as well just make a mural out of it and gift it to them, and then they can auction it. So that was my idea. And then the current chairperson, she is also a muralist, and she thought, okay, she gave me the platform, okay, do the mural and we will showcase it at the Bangalore International Airport. And that's how the whole thing came about. And
you did stuff, let's see. But then again, Iram, the lesson here comes is that you had done something before, correct? So
yes.
This is something that I think other founders must learn from Iram's example, that she did some good quality work. She helped out with, and she reached out to people, etc. So I think that's a lesson for all of us. Amazing. Thanks so much, Iram. But it's still not complete, right? You and what else? How else are you going to? What's your hustle plan for the next couple of months?
So we have tied up with United Nations Global Compact. It's international agency, and that has helped us because their programs and their the subject matter expertise on impact what we are creating. So that is helping us to connect with corporates on a different note, because we are able to tell them that we are able to help them achieve the UN SDGs, which every corporate wants to do that. Eventually they want to be a good, sustainable, law-abiding company, and that's when the employees also want to work for sustainable companies. So that the mindset is changing. It is slow, but definitely the change is coming, and the young generation, the new generation wants sustainable products. They want sustainable practices in any organization, and I think that is the area now that we are focusing on, would help us reach these organizations and tell them that how we are able to make an impact, and that too and create sustainable wealth for them from their e-waste. So it's
Awesome.
from their trash we are creating sustainable wealth and by them. So it's all we have created a platform and they can transact their waste on it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Iram. So there is a hustle. You're appealing to younger lot, etc. Right? Beautiful. Thank you so much, Iram. Hari,
Yeah.
I'm now going to ask you something. Your beautiful book section at the back. So which are the books that you read? Number one. Number two, you're also teaching entrepreneurship at a couple of colleges, right?
Correct.
So let's give us, when you're talking to the young minds, what are the 3 or 4 things that you would share out here to the more growth stage or early stage startup founders? Bullet points, I repeat, bullet points, was around 722. 3 or 4 inputs for founders and maybe for yourself as well. Okay.
Yeah, sure. The last two, the current one I just started, first page done, is How I Built This, again by Guy Raz. But before that, I was thinking, I was doing Leonardo da Vinci, the Thinking Like Leonardo da Vinci. I think it's a very small book, and I think everybody should read that. I mean, all of you know that Leonardo da Vinci is the world's greatest thinker till date from the beginning of human mankind. And there are certain parameters you look at how you say that a person is the greatest thinker from all time. So if you go back into his history, where he was born and the time zone he was there, the number of things he did and the way he designed Venice and everything. So it's a 7-point charter, Thinking Like Leonardo da Vinci. I think everybody should read that, because nobody till before and after Leonardo da Vinci has actually reached his status till now as the world's greatest thinker. That's one. From a teaching perspective, I'm more focused on the business model canvas and value proposition canvas. Yes, I try to apply that to myself, because I should walk the talk, because when I teach, people ask me, Hari, show me your example. And what I do is, when I teach the class, I just open my pitch deck and I open my value proposition deck and share it with them. It's a matter of trust. I know I got a couple of feedback saying, Hari, you should open up your business models to everybody. I said, look, unless we establish the trust, when you are teaching the younger minds, everybody, they think, okay, he is giving us gyan. I don't know what he's doing. So my live example, earlier I used to give some examples of some business models. But since I started up, I share with them how I did the business model canvas, how I did the value proposition canvas. All these things I made a slide deck, and that's what I run now. Whenever I go to new class, I just update whatever has happened in the last 3 months or something like that. But these are the two predominant things. So the last book was that, and this is what I do. And I think end of the day, I don't know, I'm a huge fan of Steve Jobs. Every morning I get up and ask myself, Hari, did you give your 100% yesterday? Are you ready to close down? So this is the question I ask every day. Hari, are you done? Because I'm literally in the down times, but that's okay. I ask myself, I keep telling every Monday morning is a fresh start. By Tuesday evening, I have decided that Saturday is going to be the last working day of HAPLO, right? But again, Saturday comes, hey, next week starts again. So ask yourself the question, have you put in 100%? If the answer is yes, then make your decision. But my guess goes right, you will not get it 100%. You will be 99.99%. So that 0.91% will be the next week. So add that and you will be there.
Yeah. And I think, Hari, even what Jeff Bezos says at Amazon, right? That the day one is just not getting over, man. We're still on day one. The hustle never stops, ever.
I know.
Yeah, superb. That was very nice. Guys, I must tell you, Hari, I mean, look, Hari, we are friends. We know each other for many years. We have met at so many places. If you remember, we met at Bloom Villa last. If you remember that.
I know.
Yeah. And then, Hari just asked me that, look, I'm doing this. Can you help me to connect with a few folks? So I don't know. I mean, Hari, you want to just say, I think I made you some introductions and stuff like that.
He made 2 introductions. I don't want to name the people because everybody know the people here.
Yeah.
One has given me an opportunity. The other, even today, after 1.5 years, once in 15 days, I ping, or once in a month, I ping and say, hey, are we getting to the next? So I am very, very persistent I'm a little persistent guy. So I still reach out to him and say, he will not respond. That's okay. I can show you my WhatsApp or email. He doesn't. So I still remember, I'll take a minute in Head Start X last to 2016-17. Vijetha, if you remember, somebody asked Shraddha, Shraddha, how did you make this happen or whatever? She said, initially I used to follow big people on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I used to tag them appropriate posts. After some time, I left it out, and I said, let you guys tag me.
Yeah.
Right? So that changed everything for Shraddha. It took a little long time, but I think you should start looking at that.
No, I'll tell you this, Hari, because if you remember, when we had done this at this SAP Startup Studio, we had done that. Yeah. So I was a moderator with Shraddha and.
Correct. I remember the hall.
Yeah, you remember. So and just very interesting, Jagat and Iram, right? So, now what Shraddha is amazing, and she's a giver, okay? She is one of the most giving people that you can ever imagine. I'm not joking. And she encourages this of her team, okay? I must give a shout out, Vishal Krishna, their business editor, Madan, the research editor, and of course, the Thai guy and everything like that. They're such warm, giving people, man. They just slog their asses off, okay? Morning to night, but they give. Alok is there, all of them. Then Priyanka is there, who's part of their business development team. She works with accelerators. So they're good people. They're such good people at your story. And this is what she said. She used to chase people, guys. And then most of the time, no response. Okay, I mean, rather, let's say most of the time, all the time there was no response, but she never gave up. And now you know where she is, right? So she never stopped hustling. I think that's a message that Hari is giving, correct? You ask for help, you ask for referrals, you ask for support, and never, ever, ever stop the hustle. Because the day you stop, see, you should not irritate people. I mean, you should be very careful about that. But follow-up is such a crucial thing. And this is something that I also want to internalize for myself. Thank you for bringing that out, Hari. Lots of stories that we can share, but that's not what we are here for. That's sometime else. Iram.
Shraddha, 1 second, Vijetha. Shraddha used to do, I don't know if you, Iram and many people on the group, if you know bar camps. Today, somebody else is running it, but bar camps, when it started, bar camp 1, I was part of the group. And Shraddha used to come to bar camps and write stories of startups, right? And she used to write the blog there. And she used to sit in one corner. It's a different story. Yeah, let's not go back into all the stories. It will take another 1 hour, but sorry, Vijetha.
Yeah.
Whoever, I think whoever has been in Bangalore has seen her grow, from being her office in in the coffee shops to her office in Indiranagar. It's everyone has seen it all. Yeah.
But she has not got it easy, guys. Underline that. 15 years is not a small time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and guys, the personal sacrifice
I
that
think resilience is something we should, yeah.
yeah, and Iram, see, this is the question that I was going to ask you next, right? See, there is a lot of programs being run for women entrepreneurs. Okay, I think NSRCell also does a lot of these things, etc. So maybe I would like you to kind of do some quick research work. You have to share this on the chat here and also on Founders Feed. Okay, and this is a request from all of you guys. Okay, Jagat, you of course do it, but still I'll ask you for to do more. Hari, for you
Yeah.
and for Iram, please share more resources with the community. Giving is what really matters. You can share videos, you can share blogs, and Hari, the books that you read, etc., etc. What are the resources that you use? Whatever you're comfortable sharing. Okay, because let's create this innovation cluster. Because and okay, guys. Now the other ask that I have is ask some more founders to join the founders feed. Number one.
Sure.
Number two, let's bring see this innovation cluster, right, which we talk about. Israel does it so well, Singapore does it so well, Estonia does it so well. Okay, and there are people we have like Dilip from InQ who's doing the Australia India bridge, etc., etc. Right. So we want to bring more and more of this awareness. See, I'm the world's number one spammer, is what I proclaim. I'm sharing, Iram, you also know it, right? I keep sharing so much of information. But
Yeah.
why is only Vijetha doing it? Why can't another 100 people start sharing more and more information, do more and more research work, support each other, guys? I mean, there's so much that we can achieve in life. All right. Now I want to bring the spotlight on to Jagat. Okay. Tough markets, tough challenges, plenty of global competition. Hari, it's the same thing that you're facing also, right? I mean, a lot of challenges. But Jagat, how are you going to differentiate yourself? Right? Because you can't fight competition, whatever you want to call them. You can't say that government should change their policies. You can't say that they're offering everything for free. You can't say that they have unlimited budgets. You cannot say that they have a 200-member engineering team. And whatever else you can't say, I don't know. You can just think of these 20 things. And apart from that, do you have something to say?
No, no, I think, see, we're in the video business. We believed in video since 2016. So it's been half a decade I've been working on this. And I don't think it's about competition. It's really not. Video is a very, very new business. And 2020, if you look at what's happened, uh, we built, for example, as you know, this browser-based video well before Google Meet and even Microsoft Teams. Microsoft, they built it, even after we did. But today we have seen what happened with this. The people's productivity has come down. Video meetings are not the best solution. What's important is what's the future going to be? What's video communications 2021 going to look like? And I think it's a mix of synchronous and asynchronous communication. It's a mix of video messages plus meetings. Much like you have a phone, if you have an Airtel connection, you can't get only your phone numbers or your phone calling. You have to get SMS. If you don't get SMS, you will be on the phone all the time. So that's the thing that's happened to video meetings as well. And we are addressing this issue with Vmail. Video Mails is a brand new product made right here in India. And we're the first in the world to do this. Second is also that video still has to solve the external communications piece. Today, a customer cannot communicate with a business in video using a Zoom link. It doesn't work. And that's only for internal communications. People already know. So with Vidphone ID, we give you personal and private IDs that much like your phone number or email, which is permanent. So if Iram has her particular business, eBay Social, or Hari has his business, it would just be vidphone.me/eBay Social, and then people can directly talk to sales or support at Iram's team. And I think these kind of integrations are going to become very important. This is what makes video kind of mainstream in business, makes it ubiquitous. And security is a big problem as well. That still needs to be addressed. Right now, video conferencing is free in India, but I don't think next year you're going to have video conferencing free. It's going to become very, not sustainable for Indian startups and enterprises. So I think we are very optimistic. We see no competition whatsoever. They do what they do. For example, tomorrow I have a very important call with one of the largest automobile companies in the world. How can we change their customer experience? They cannot use my competition like Zoom or Meet. It's simply not good enough. So they need custom solutions, and we are happy to cater to a premium end of the market where we give them very, very personalized solutions for their business. So it's a great place to be. I think there's category selling happening. We need the large companies to do this, what we call dumping of capital, because that's when consumers get used to it, and it's only advantage for us. I don't see a negative at all, Vijetha.
Awesome. Super awesome, man. Super awesome. Guys, it's 7:33. So the promise that I had given is we will not go beyond 1 hour. It's a Sunday evening. You'll all, I'm sure you want to spend time with your families and other things. Jagat is a father of how old is it now? 6 months. 6 months, 1 year. How is he? How old is he?
He's 8, but he's behaving like he's 32.
8 months old. That's it. And has he learned coding yet, or is he yet to get there? I mean,
No, we just finished our Sunday morning review. We reviewed the entire process on Sunday morning. We finished it.
so you did a tear down of your product and all that stuff, right?
Accounts, administration.
Interesting, very interesting, guys. So look, the last few minutes, anything that you would like to share with the community, please talk about what kind of customers or investors or whatever you want. I know that Jagat, you're also looking at your next round and you want to raise more money. And Hari, you want more customers, you want to raise money. Iram, definitely more customers, more brand ambassadors, CSR funds, etc., etc. So quick shout out. Remember, you are on video. You're going to be captured, and you all should reshare the content that Jagat and his team have put out. It's on Facebook, YouTube, and on Vidphone. So please go for it, guys. It's your show now.
Oh, okay.
No silence. Come on, go for it, man. What happened?
Yeah, so I would want, my ask would be from all the people present here, to connect with me to corporates. And we are not looking only for huge multinational or large size corporate. We're looking for mid size. We don't want any e-waste which is generated or which is used by the corporates. Everyone is using equipment now, like IT equipment, computers, phones, UPS, generators, inverters. So anything which needs to be recycled or refurbished can be transacted onto our platform. And we are trying to get this platform. This need not be a big multinational company, but any company who generates e-waste, who have 25, 30 people working for them, comes in a good customer bracket for us. And we would be happy to onboard them, give them our impact review, and give them the certification, what we have designed for them. And yeah, that's my ask, from all present here. And yeah, thanks Vijetha for this platform, and thanks Jagat and Hari. And it's a great platform with phone, and I'll definitely use it for my webinar and a video, probably a video introduction about our product.
Yeah, thank you so much, Iram.
Yeah, thanks.
Jagat, I second what you are telling, Iram. Iram, even I had that point. I thought I'll message you later personally, but I think that's one segment which can take you. So from a HAPLO perspective, here are a couple of us. Somebody wants to be part of the team, please don't hesitate to ping me. Second, if you have any connects to any spaces, please do let us know. And if not a commission, definitely a beer is on me.
Well, for us, I think Vidphone, I think thanks first of all to Iram, to Hari, and to Vijetha for taking out your time on Sunday. I hope you had some good benefit from the 1 hour conversation. And yeah, I think from Vidphone's side, we are here to really help Indian enterprises. We are very passionate about Indian enterprises being, Atmanirbhar, right? I think we are here to support companies. So whether it's for your team meetings or whether it's for talking to customers, I think look at Vidphone. We're obviously a good option. And more importantly, be part of our initiatives, these community initiatives that we do. We have 3 in a week, and we're going to add a lot more properties to this. Maybe we'll have 5 or 6 by the end of, probably next couple of weeks, I think, hopefully. Please be part of it. And it's not a one-time thing, I hope. Founder, informal boards, if you again connect maybe a month from now or 2 months from now, I'm sure there'll be a lot of progress also. And special shout out to, Hari and Iram. I think good luck on your businesses. Really wonderful stuff. Hari, I think don't go through founder depression. I've bootstrapped also for 9 years. It's 10 years, and it always happens. Yes, ups and downs, and trust me, I've seen them also. Best way to, just try and go to sleep well at night, wake up in the morning, and breathe the fresh new week tomorrow.
True. Very true. Very true.
That's very nice.
I would like to add, the joy of creating is much more than the struggle what we all go through. So
it's fine to have fun. I think that's something I just want to take one last minute, because I think you addressed a very important point, Hari. And trust me, this COVID time has not been comfortable for a lot of people. And especially because you're alone, sometimes it gets to you. But I think the best way is to try and break down very, very simple tasks and try and not do the routine, right? If there's a routine that you're following, try and break that routine. And it could be just sending out a mail to a few people on a very different note, or just getting on a video call with 5 friends, just putting out some time. And I think look at some ways where I think few times you do that, you break the kind of mental rut. Adi Shankara says like the mind is like you get into kind of channels. When water flows through a river, it keeps following that same path, right?
True.
The important thing in the mind is to break that path and to kind of have this new tunnel that the water starts flowing in, right?
True.
So slowly try and navigate that. I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful 2021.
Thank you. The COVID only took away my most productive workspace. So that's the only, it's been 15 years. I predominantly lived on the road, airports and flights. So I've been the most creative and my ideas predominantly came when I travel. But because there is no travel, I think I went into the depression. But yeah, hopefully I get back on road pretty soon.
We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat.
I know. Thank you, Vijetha. Thank you, Jagat. Thank you, Iram. Thank you so much.
Great, guys. Listen, it's 7:40, 1 hour, 10 minutes of this. So, I would like you guys to say good night to everyone. Thank you, Jagat, Iram, and Hari for joining in. I learned a lot. Please, I always appreciate these wonderful conversations with founders because you all guys are hustlers. You all are working so hard. And thank you, guys. So, Startup Sunday, the informal boardroom, sharing of insights, sharing of learnings. And look, when we touch base once again, guys, I want to know, and we should let the world know that how you'll have used some of these techniques and tools to grow. Okay, that's all that matters. And Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good evening. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Good night.